Hey guys, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing Castlevania Lords of Shadow. If you may or may not remember, If you may or may not remember, I recorded this a long time ago, but way in the beginning of the game. This is the beginning of Chapter 3. This is the first time I've gotten to this area, so I don't know if there'll be spoilers or not. I guess since this isn't the beginning, I guess it's all considered spoilers. But the main spoiler of this game, which I already know even though I haven't finished it, because, I don't know, I'm kind of iffy on this game. I think it's a good game, but it kind of turns me off because it's supposed to be a Castlevania game, but it's really only a Castlevania game by name. And the last name of the character is Belmont. That's about it. It doesn't have any of the catchy tunes that the old ones have, although I heard there's some like orchestrated renditions that you really have to pay attention to even notice that they're there, and the characters are all different. This is the first part of 3 games, and I guess they're gonna quit this story. This is not a remake, this is a retelling of the story altogether. So yeah, this doesn't have anything in common with the rich timeline of the older Castlevania games. So maybe I'll go over the timeline, maybe I'll do it before this video. I haven't decided. I kind of feel like I should point out the timeline to explain this game. This game isn't part of the other Castlevania's timeline. This is its own thing, unless this takes place in some weird parallel universe or something. But if you don't want any spoilers, definitely kind of try to avoid watching any kind of trailer or commercial of the 3DS Lords of Shadow game and Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 that's coming out on PC and Xbox 360 and PS3. This is the PS3 version of Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I don't believe this came out on PC though. Well, the second one will. But definitely, if you watch any of the trailers of this game, of the sequel of this game and the 3DS game, it'll spoil the ending of this game, I promise you. But yeah, this is basically a mixture of God of War and Shadow of Colossi, because sometimes you gotta fight these giant like monsters or whatever, titans, and you gotta climb on top of them. Like, they're blatant rip-offs from other games. I mean, I think God of War was somewhat of a rip-off of what Castlevania would be like in 3D, so I forgive them on that. But beside that, this feels like more Lord of the Rings than the horror atmosphere of Castlevania. So without further ado, let's get started. I got this. Sorry, I'm stuttering. Isn't that weird? I just got this gauntlet-looking thing off of a night. I've attempted to record this today 2 times, and it was at a boss fight each time. Right when I finished the one boss fight, it went into another one, and I died a lot because I had to figure out how to actually finish the bosses, and they were made for terrible videos like I'm making it right now by just talking and not playing. So really need to get started. Let me just read this. I can't read that print. My eyesight's so bad. I really need to get glasses. Anything that's not straight up font, I have trouble seeing. Well, normal font, like anything that's stylized or cursive handwriting, I have trouble seeing. Alright, just to explain things a bit, you don't immediately get these features at the beginning of the game. But if you look at the, where was it? If you look at the bottom left hand of the screen, you'll see a little bar, and you'll see one on the right. The left bar, if you fill it up with, by collecting orbs of the blue type, you can use that when you attack an enemy or restore your health. On the right, If you collect enemy or orbs of the red type by destroying enemies and use that magic, it'll make your attacks more powerful. Now I gotta figure out what to do. Hold L2 and push square. What did that do? Oh, I pushed the opposite button. Oh, come on. That's a blatant ripoff of Kratos' kick. I would forgive all this if it was more like Castlevania. It's a good game, but I mean, I still feel like God of War did it better. One thing this game does have is excellent graphics. And the gameplay is fun. It's just, if you're a Castlevania fan like me, I grew up with Castlevania. Here are the orbs you collect. And they can turn into a blue orbs or red orbs, depending on what bar you want to fill. I tend to get the health orbs because I get hit a lot. The hell is that thing? I now know. This will be your orbs apparently, so I'm good to go. Where is it? Oh, I was gonna show you. You can buy attacks with points. Since I'm showing you this, I'm not doing it right. Where are the moves that I can upgrade? So you can buy moves. They have handy dandy animations for them too, as you can see. Those little daggers are basically beside the whip, which is called a combat cross in this instead of the vampire killer as it's been in all the other Castlevania games. You can jump this distance. Oh, you can't jump this distance on your own. That means I need one of those monsters to bust through. When it glows like this, that means to climb. This game doesn't necessarily have bad music, but Castlevania is known for its catchy music. There's not one tune in this game that I can remember. Alright. Don't really see a lot of the undead in this game. I've yet to see any, to be honest with you. This is only the third chapter. I heard this game's pretty long. This game's probably ridiculously cheap now, considering it's somewhat old and the sequel's coming out soon, so. That is such a blatant ripoff of Kratos' kick, because Kratos, I forgot what button you hold, but when he gets to a crater or something, he even makes somewhat of a similar sound where he pulls his foot back to kick. This looks more like Lord of the Rings. I forgot what part it is. I read the Fellowship of the Ring, or most of it anyway. I've seen the movies, but I don't like to say that because that doesn't count. It makes me seem illiterate. But yeah, I wasn't incredibly interested in Lord of the Rings too much, so I didn't really finish the book because I lost interest. I got pretty good length through it, and I forgot what area it is, but this reminds me of on the movie where they passed that part in the river where they had like those two statues that look at one another. I forgot what part that is. I believe one of the DVD sets is actually shaped like it. No, I haven't seen or read the book in such a long time. I'm trying to think with the happened at the end of the Fellowship of the Rings, beside them killing that one orc. I do like the whip mechanics of being able to use it as a grappling hook. I probably should use that. Can you use it? Oh, you could use the hook maybe. It just doesn't have the horror theme the Castlevania games do. This is straight up more Lord of the Rings than anything. You can't carry more daggers. Why would I want to? They're almost worthless. All this time, I had health magic and I haven't used it on you guys. What was I thinking? As you can see, that's recharging my health. The strong attacks are good to have for bosses or stronger characters, but like I said, I get hit a lot, so I tend to fill up the health gauge first once I start collecting orbs again. You can grab these guys and have a little quick time event. Hit the button when he gets in the middle of the circle, and it's usually an instant kill for the most part. You gotta hold in the left or right analog stick depending on what power you want to suck in the orbs that recharge little magic bars. They explode in red goo like when the vampires get staked in True Blood, which I always liked for some reason. Instead of just dying on True Blood, the vampires melt into like this sticky goo. I have no idea what this sparkly thing is. Why do we have butterflies following me? Are they supposed to do something with this? I'm so kind of confused. Are there butterflies inside of those werewolves this whole time, or they're fairies? What is this game? This is not Castlevania. Castlevania always had like a techno-ish 80s beat with like a orchestrated or a medieval vibe at the same time. You could hum each tune because they were super catchy. I don't recognize this game. The ending somewhat explains it, but judging from the trailer of the second game, it's gonna be pretty close to this game in terms of theme. I don't think they're going to come close to anything that I like about Castlevania. Since the second game of this is supposed to be the last one in this series, I wonder what they're going to do with the Castlevania story after that. I hope that they go back to the roots, because there's some story elements that were never finished in the first timeline that I would like to see finished. Some people say that those parts should be left up to the imagination, because the timeline of the original Castlevania, Dracula was finally destroyed in 1999 and sealed at the moon somehow, but there was never a game that explained that, because Arya Sorrow takes place after that, where these people go back to Castlevania. I can't remember if they go to the moon or the castle appears. I just know there's people trying to take over the role of Dracula. I haven't played that game in a long time. I just found my copy of Aria of Sorrow last weekend. I'm really debating on replaying it. Well, if I go here, what am I supposed to do next? There has to be something here worth my time, right? Or they wouldn't make me swing over there. Maybe there's a scroll I missed. Something. Oh, it's just, oops. I'll just go back. Pushing the wrong button. I don't think I could be a Belmont because I would be terrified of heights. Maybe I'm supposed to go here. Oh, look, a crank that looks mysteriously like it was ripped out of a God of War game. The cranks in God of War are almost exactly like that. The way they rotate. And I know they have cranks like that before God of War existed. It just, I guess, flattery's kind of a huge compliment, but I just wish this game did some original things on its own. I guess the story is original since it has nothing to do with Castlevania, the original series. I'm kind of whining about that a little bit, but it was important to me. I was really looking forward to this game, a next-gen Castlevania game, because I didn't think the Castlevania games that came out on PlayStation 2 and Xbox were all that great. They had good intentions, but everything in those games looked the same, but at least they kept up with the damn storyline. Even if it was bad, this game, I guess, tries to make a somewhat good storyline, but it only takes the span of 3 games, so I don't know what they plan on doing. You must find 3 fairies to open this. 3 fairies. Oh shit. These guys are a little bit more difficult than the other werewolves. I'm gonna beat them with my health with really collect hearts. You don't have axes in this game, no holy water. It's up there. And the music is just background noise. Oops. Jump on top of him. Actually, ride these things. I'm not exactly sure where I'm supposed to take this guy. You could do this with spiders and trolls. I was hoping maybe I didn't need fairies. That was wishful thinking. Seems like every action game now, you can usually mount one of the enemies or monsters. Well, this looks like I have to climb it, so I'm gonna have to choke you to death. Oh, he can climb that? What the hell? Alright, this video is long. This is Castlevania Lords of Shadows. For the PlayStation 3, also available on the Xbox 360. If you don't want any spoilers of this game, definitely do not watch the trailers of Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2 or anything to do with the 3DS game, which was it Mirrors of Fate? I don't remember what it was called. I'm pretty sure that's what it might be called. I don't know. But yeah, this is a good game. Just don't expect a good Castlevania game, which means it's a good game, but it has almost nothing to do with Castlevania except the name. But thank you guys for watching, and you guys take care. Bye.